Okay, guys, back. My phone ran into gigabyte issues. Anyway, to continue with the notion of the lion, he has left behind his role as the camel, and who is the camel is the thou shalt not representation. The camel represents the herd mentality of Christianity. He moves into a period of self-discovery. He has nothing but loathing towards the herd, but he has no spirituality, and this is one of the things that he has lost, and there's a void where there is no spirituality. Because he has discovered that God is dead, and he because of this realization, the lion is constantly fighting other forces. The lion will eventually, in Zarathustra, confront a dragon, which is, I believe the name of the dragon is Thou Shalt, and defeat the dragon of Thou Shalt. I know it sounds ridiculous, but look, it's metaphor. Upon defeating the dragon of Thou Shalt, the lion is able to metamorphosize into the mind and the idea of the child. Okay, and why does Nietzsche use a child here? Because Nietzsche saw the highest level of man as that of innocence and forgetting. And the most important part of this is the notion of a new beginning. And this is really important for him, and it plays into his idea of eternal recurrence, because this is the stage you will be in if you are going to live every day over and over and over. Okay, he doesn't see the will as contrary to society anymore. His will now creates its own will, its own world. He's, to quote Seinfeld, he is the master of his domain. Okay, and this is where we have the idea of the child being a celebration of the will to power. Okay, the becoming of the overman. Okay, in which he affirms, and this is so key. When you get to this level, he says that the overman, the child, affirms his existence in every action. That is really important to Nietzsche, because that's where he ties all of the Schopenhauer and all of his ideas up to this point into this creation. Okay, that affirms its existence in every single action. So, just to give you a little bit of a rundown, a little review here. Remember, we had the notion back in the first section, living beyond good and evil, and not seeing those. He goes back to the whole genealogy of what good and evil mean. And remember, at one point, strong was good and weak was bad. And that's certainly how, nature sees it: strong, good, weak, bad. And he then, somewhere along the line, and he typically assesses it to Christianity, it became strong, evil, and good, meek, and that's everywhere in the Bible. And so he takes issue with that in Beyond Good and Evil. He goes into the idea of creating your own morality early on. And then I talk quite a bit today about Zarathustra and the notion of the overman and, the idea of what is an ape to man, a laughing stock. So one day the overman will look back on man and see him the way we look back on the ape. And I gave you three different stages in this development. The camel, which is the subservient member of the herd, who is willing, and he makes a lot of references to willing to carry the guilt of Christianity. And then he moves on to the lion, which is sort of what we associate with Nietzsche incorrectly, which is sort of that Valkyrie mentality, but the lion has another stage after he is able to defeat the dragon of thou shalt, and that is the individual becomes a child, and innocence and forgetting and affirming existence in every action. Anyway, Nietzsche is going to he doesn't have much of an effect while he's alive, but he's going to have a pretty profound effect going forward. Up to this day, he is still, I believe, the most important philosopher in history. It doesn't mean he's my favorite philosopher, but I think he's probably the most important philosopher, and I do really enjoy reading his stuff. His stuff is also very easy to read. He took pride in maintaining a simplicity. He's the anti-Hegel. Anyway, you gotta, we're gonna move into a period. You should be getting close. We're getting close to the revolutions of 1848, but more importantly, we're getting very close to Prussia asserting complete dominance over Europe. And so German Romanticism, as I talked a bit about with Goethe, German Romanticism is a different kind of Romanticism, and this is where we get guys like Schopenhauer and Nietzsche, very different type of Romanticism, but still both, very obsessed with the idea of power and nature. Anyway, stay strong. Enjoy Nietzsche Part 2. This is broken up into 2 sections, so if you didn't hear the first one, go back and listen. And hopefully I'm coherent in these. Get your notes done, get them uploaded, and I will sign off on them, and everybody's happy. One further note. The AP test will be online. We got instructions today. It's gonna be timed. You're gonna take it on a computer, and I'll get those instructions out to you. I think you've probably already gotten something from AP. Be safe and keep surviving. Love y'all.